Hi, I'm Michelle Gerdtz, President of Bell Park Sport and Recreation Club. You can listen to my interview with Tom King on krockfootball.com.au.
History will be created this year in the GFL when we have our first female president of a GFL club, and the honour goes to Bell Park and Michelle Gerdtz, who's been good enough to join us on krockfootball.com.au. Gertzy, firstly, congratulations. First woman to lead a GFL club. The league's now into its, I think, 35th season. It must be a huge honour to lead the club that you love so much.
Yeah, it is. I've probably never really thought about it in terms of being the first of anything, and I suppose it is an honour. I just love the club, so I just do whatever I can to make sure that we're successful on and off the field, I suppose, and courts.
You've obviously led the netball club for a number of years. How did being president of the football club come about?
It was more Rusty Evans just had a chat to me throughout last year, and he'd indicated that he wanted to move on to other things and suggested that it would be good for us to look at a collective approach from the footy and the netball, so to have one leader across both, and including cricket too, which is seasonal as well. So it probably just stemmed from there, and we went into more detail with it and worked out that, yeah, it could work and everyone was behind it, so off we went. What
do you hope to bring to the role that might differ from Tony Evans, who's been in it for a handful of years?
Oh, look, probably not too much different. I think Rusty and I think along the same lines. We're all about just supporting our people and our players, so I'd like to think that perhaps some knowledge that I've got just in previous employment positions and the things I've gone through with netball I can use in the football side too, but I look at it more of just the sporting club and whatever comes in under that. So, yeah.
You worked at Football Netball Geelong for a number of years. Do you hope that what you learnt there will help you in your role as president in regards to negotiating with Football Netball Geelong?
Oh, look, I think so. I'm familiar with the people there and get along really well. And I suppose the other thing is too that I got to know a lot of the football people through that role too. So, going to a president's meeting on Monday night, my first one, at least I was familiar with some faces and could say good day to a few people, so it wasn't as daunting as I thought it could have been.
Challenges that face a president of a football club, whether it be male or female, these days, what do you see as the biggest issue facing you in 2013?
Oh, look, I think that probably for us as a club is just the finance and making sure that, that we've got the income to keep up with everyone, I suppose. Player payments, coaching payments, it's coming in football obviously for forever, and it's creeping into netball as well. So we need to make sure that we're profitable and we're doing everything we can, and I see that as my real task, is that off the field type thing and making sure that we can get the income that we need. Sponsorship's a tough one too, and it's so important to the club, so making sure that we keep our sponsors and trying to attract some new ones as well.
You've been in sports administration for a decade or so. Do you have any mentors, or do you have somebody that you look up to in regards to leadership?
Probably a few actually, and it probably comes down to some netball related roles. I was at Netball Victoria for 3 years, and there was a CEO at the time, Lee Russell, was a real front runner, I suppose, in terms of females in leadership positions. She'd come from an AFL background and then came into the CEO role at Netball Victoria. So I look up to her, and the things that she's been able to input, I suppose, while I was at Netball Victoria was really important. And the other one, I guess, is someone like a Brian Cook at Geelong, really well-respected sports administrator and has the proof in premierships and things at Geelong, and being able to turn around a probably struggling club financially into a real powerhouse now.
I know you're very thick-skinned, but I suppose you're bracing yourself for whatever feedback there may be about a woman being president of a football club. Has that gone through your head that there might be some that'll go, some of the especially old timers who may be set in their ways that really women should be just in the canteen of a football club? Yeah,
look, I have thought about it, and I suspect there's a couple of those people at the club that probably think, what's she doing there? What's the point of it all? But no, look, I am thick-skinned. I'd like to think that I've got a good knowledge of the game as well. I'm not some idiot that doesn't know about football. I love football. So obviously I haven't played it, but I don't think to be an administrator, I don't think you necessarily have to have played it. I think you just need a good understanding and make sure you've got good people around you, which I'm confident I've got right now. Good support.
The club's obviously one of those clubs that's very much in that enclave in the inner west of Geelong. You've got Wests and Joey's, a number of GDFL clubs around you. How do you continue to make yourselves relevant and being a club to attract players to, when really Bell Park as a suburb's not a big, I suppose, growth area kids-wise?
No, it's not. And look, again, we've been lucky, and I think it comes down to people at the club, coaches as well. But it's our culture. We discussed it. I had a discussion with Tim Sheringham and Ben Armstrong just before Christmas about bringing players to the club and what we wanted. And above all else, we want people with good culture, good values to come to our club. It's not about how much we can pay them or how much they want. Obviously that comes into it as well, but for us it's all about the sort of people that we want, and we need to make sure that we've got good people coming to our club.
Obviously Bell Park now consistently a GFL finals contender every year. The strength of the netball section's improved over time. Is it just a case of constant development, not just of your senior part of the club but also your junior part?
Yeah, look, juniors is probably the most important thing, and I think we're showing it in football that a lot of our junior footballers are coming through into seniors now, and we've got that base, I suppose, of those, and we can top it up with some newer and stronger players as well. It's probably in netball something we haven't done well in the past, and we're really working on to make sure that is, I guess, the feature of the netball part as well, that we know that we've got kids coming through that are going to top up our A and our B grade, and then again, we can just build from that. So that's probably, in terms of netball, that's a real strategy for us going forward.
Gerdtz, it's a massive challenge. Obviously, a lot of people I've spoken to that have held the role previously feel it's like a full-time job, but you're juggling a full-time role, obviously, with the Masters Games, trying to be president of a sporting club, both football and netball sections. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks for joining us on krockfootball.com.au.
Thank you.